Hey there, friends, come join the show. We're digging in the earth where good things grow. From tiny seeds to the food we share, love and sunshine fill the air. By plant what you eat what you grow. I learn as you grow, let the rhythm flow. I grow every day, in every way. This is how we garden for a brighter day. Yeah. Grab your gloves and a trowel in hand. We'll turn this patch to a promised land. Tomatoes climbing, peppers in line. Patience and water make everything fine. Eat what you grow. I learn as you grow. Let the rhythm flow. Hearts grow every day in every way. This is how we garden for a brighter day. Ooh, ah, ooh, ah, yeah. Compost turning the soils alive. Buzzing bees keep the blooms in drive. Every sprout's a story told of healing hearts and hands of gold. From garden beds to kitchen plates, nature's time never waits. Share your harvest, share your song. Together we'll keep growing strong. Transform what you grow. Hearts learn as you grow. Let the rhythm flow. Hearts grow every day in every way. This is how we got it for a brighter day. Transform what you grow. Hearts learn as you grow. Let the rhythm flow. Hearts grow every day in every way. This is how we got it for a brighter day. This is how we garden for a brighter day. Georgia.
Gardeners can fail, and it's not because they can't grow plants. Is there even failing in gardening? Or is it all just learning? We're going back to basics together, Gardening 101, just a little touch on it. We'll do more in January and February. We're going to talk about golden rules to help you think and plan the garden. The top plant list, I will give you the list of things to learn on growing, the things to get you into gardening, growing setups. We're going to help each other. This is just a conversation. Like I said, we're going to cover this more in depth in January, February, checklists, answering in-depth questions. Let's just have fun with it here together today. And of course, you in the replay, what's the plant that made you fall in love with gardening? Maybe you haven't started yet. What's pulling you towards it? Tell me your story. I would love to hear all of the things. Put it in the comment section. Let's have a conversation. So before we get into the golden rules for beginners, we are going to quickly say hello to the live chat folks. We have Gear Grinded 19, Ecology Today, which is Jay Dixon, Howie from Food Forest Permaculture saying, greetings, fellow earthlings. Okay, that's who I see. 7 eyes. Let's hit the thumbs up. I'm going to pull up some golden rules for beginners. Now you tell me, yay or nay, right? I want to hear from you if you agree. Or am I completely talking nonsense, right? So we're going to do a little bit of both things here. Start small, right? Grow a garden you can manage and then expand each season. How many of us have taken too much on too fast? right? Number 2, timing is everything for success. So this can be a lot of things. This can be knowing your zones, knowing your frost dates. This can be knowing when a cool crop or a warm crop needs to go in. Again, there's going to be a lot of vocabulary and a lot of terminology. There are resources in the description helping you through these things. This is just a basic overall. And then January, February, we will define and help you through what's a zone, what's a frost date, what's a cold crop, what's a warm crop, right? Number 3, choose the right location. 6 to 8 hours of sun for most vegetables. Now, depending on where you live, if you live somewhere, I feel like closer to the hot, I'm here in Minnesota in the north, then you might not want to plant things in 8 hours of full sun because they could burn up very quickly. So this is just a broad statement here. But knowing that different plants require different hours of daylight, right? Build healthy soil first. If we can tell anything to beginner gardeners, it's start your compost piles, right? Figure out what organic matter is around you naturally for free, and then having good drainage in your soil. Now, grow beginner-friendly plants. This is where I have different opinions than most of the lists. Like, I have lists linked in the description, and they don't quite match up with mine, and this isn't a hard and fast rule, right? We do want to start with high success crops. So we're going to go over that crops list together here. Now, don't overcrowd is also tricky for me because, spacing, bigger harvests, fewer pests, companion planting. The spacing charts on the seed packet are different than a square foot garden guide. They're different than chaos gardening. It's hard to say don't overcrowd in a general term. Water deeply and consistently. This is something that we kind of learn with each plant and with our climate and with the growing technique. Is it a container? Is it a raised bed? Is it a green stock? Is it in the ground? Avoid your shallow, frequent watering. We want deep watering. And I have some books here next to me that I'll show. Some of them have images of what it looks like to deep water. It depends on what kind of learner you are, right? Plant at the right time. So that again comes with matching cool crops and warm crops, right? Your soil temps. Understanding how to take a soil temp and when to plant certain things. Feed your plants. So organic fertilizers, if we want to say fertilizers, your fish emulsion that's liquid, maybe some worm castings, compost teas, top dressing. Those are things you'll figure out how to do without spending a bunch of money for beginner gardeners. And observe daily. This helps you enjoy your garden. This is not all about work. Catching issues early, pests, diseases, the stress on a plant, the dryness of the soil comes right back with proper watering. So let me pull this down and go over here. I have 2 screens, as you all know. And then going into the chat, we have, let's see, who was first? Oh, we have Robin Gardens. Hello from chilly Door County, Wisconsin. Oh, what are we at here? This is saying 26 Fahrenheit. I have an inch of snow, and then I don't know. I think at one point it said 1 to 3, and then now 3 to 5 for tomorrow's next storm. We have Storms Radios. Hello. Welcome to just a nice conversation about what did you want to know when you're a beginner gardener? Maybe you are a beginner gardener. Maybe you want to teach a beginner gardener. It's just something that we can talk about. Robin Garden says, buy those fertilizers when they are on sale in the fall. Look for liquidation sales. Our garden center is closing. Is there an auction because the garden center is closing? Definitely in the fall, seeds are on sale, products are on sale, equipment, tools, fertilizers, all of it will still be good next year. Janet Potter, good evening. Food Forest Permaculture sees grass where he is, sunny and warm today. So how do we know what garden to start with? Well, you got to look at your time and your space. Do you want a 15-minute garden? Maybe a 4x4 raised bed is what you want. Maybe you just want 10 to 15 gallon containers. Like I did 1 gallon containers, and that's okay for herbs, but a lot of stuff needs, 10 to 15 gallons. Do you want a few containers just because maybe you just have a concrete patio driveway, a balcony, a deck? Grow bags, those are super popular. Maybe you just want a small kitchen herb garden near the house. Obviously, I'm not going to tell a beginner gardener, let's start a market garden. No, no, no. Maybe you have something right now. Maybe you've already started and you're like, I'm going to grow next year, 2026. Here we go. What kind of setup are you thinking? What do you have? Did you buy some raised beds on a Black Friday sale? Did you pick up some containers for free on the side of the road? Are you just planning your very first space and you haven't done anything yet? What are the different things and why would we want them? Raised beds, a 4x4, a 4x8, it can be whatever. We're going to talk about that in the future. And there are links in the description on how to fill raised beds, what raised beds can be built out of. I have a beautiful book that is linked in the description. Let me move some seeds. We can show seeds too as we go here. So, Guide to Raised Bed Gardening is by Scott Wilson, Gardener Scott on YouTube. The beds warm faster in spring. There's fewer weeds. You can definitely control the soil so much better in one of these. They are easy to manage a layout if you like mapping out how things go in a place. Let's see what I've bookmarked for this show. Do I have anything to talk about in here? Determine what to grow. Well, plants that are easy to grow and plants that taste good, right? There's lots of fun things on how to make those decisions in here. And then there is how to do a garden journal entry. So you can't see it really well on the computer, but it's what do you ask yourself and what would you write down, which was asked to talk about in a future show. So we might have to bring that out for one of those types of conversations in a longer format and like visually show it. Welcome to the show, Serena and Fox at Outdoors. Let me put the book down. We're just hanging out about beginner gardening 101. If anyone out there would like to grow in 2026, what questions do you have? Now, large containers and grow bags, great for renters or small spaces, just off the kitchen, perfect for potatoes, herbs, and greens. Portable and cold snaps or heat waves. In-ground rows, beds, or like guilds. So guilds is, planting a bunch of things around a fruit tree, which I'm going to say this. Don't be afraid of perennials, beginner gardeners, okay? But when you are looking at growing in ground, usually it's because you have large quantities of crops. Set it and forget it crops are good for this. It does require more prep, more weeding, more water. It's good for corn, winter squash, potatoes, garlic, right? Dusty Flats, welcome to the show. Look at us night owls. Yeah, I finished up my job and the kids finally went to bed and I'm filling a time slot. Normally I'm not live right now. But, when there's things to talk about with gardening and there's a time slot, I shall grab it, right? Now, beginner combos, maybe you want one 4x4 raised bed and 2 to 3 grow bags. One small herb bed for your kitchen garden. That's pretty manageable. We talked about what's a 15-minute garden look like. And maybe we should do a show on a 15-minute garden. Don't be afraid of perennials, beginners. Know your zone. That's how cold it gets where you are. So that perennial is a perennial and not an annual, and it comes back every year. We'll get deeper into that in the future. There are resources in the description for finding out what that is. We're going to celebrate small wins when we're beginning out. Gardening is mastery over many seasons. So before I get into the good old crops list, I've got 10 or more because, how do you pick 10? Let's see what else is happening over here. in the chat. The low tonight is 19, says Robin Gardens, better than the single digits we've had. Nice fire in the wood stove. Oh, that's right. You're wood stoving it up. Love that. Howie says, love Gardner Scott. I do too. He knows his stuff. You can throw any question at him and he's just calm and has the answer. It's amazing. He's been doing it for a long time, right? I did say hello to Serena and Cliff. I see you there. Serena says, I picked up a bag of used coffee grounds from Starbucks today. I will be using it in my compost. Good stuff. There's Dusty's comment. Look at all us night owls. Oh, let's see. There's the book that I spoke about so far. There are more books that will possibly come out. And they are linked in the description the best I can. Now, I've never grown in grow bags. So Robin Gardens comes in with, I loved my felt bags in 2025. First time doing them. However, in the fall, somebody ate a hole in each of them? Oh, okay, so are you... I feel like I need to bring you up and talk about this because I have a question now. Can I bring you up? Okay. Are you patching?
I
Are you sewing them? Hey, here's Robin on the panel. What are you gonna do?
don't know. There's a hole about this big in each of them,
Oh,
about halfway up the felt. It's like, if you could get that far and eat, why couldn't you just crawl all the way to the top and dig
in.
what you wanted from the top?
Oh, wow.
Stinkers.
Anastasia, welcome to the show.
I'll
Has
do
anybody else
something.
had that?
Yeah, I'll do something on the inside to use them again because
Yeah.
it's so handy. They're light. You can move them around. As the sun changed in the fall, they were so easy to move around, and I moved them around. So I'm an advocate, but man, it really honked me off. A hole in every single one.
Remind me again, what were you planting in the grow bags?
Potatoes.
Ah, the potatoes. Did you get any advice from someone specific, or do you already know what you're doing on the method?
Of the potatoes.
Putting the potato in a grow bag, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, lots of people do it, but I mean, it's so easy to harvest. And again, moving them around
Mhm.
was good as the sun changed towards the fall because it's a long season crop, you know. I mean, I'll do it again. I'll do it again. But I say that, but I did them in the half barrels and they were even, I'd say, a bigger harvest in the half barrels.
More space, more output.
More space, more output, exactly.
You can really control the type of soil in a grow bag or a barrel, and then harvest is simply just dumping it out,
Hmm.
and then you can find everything.
And I mean, this is only my second year growing potatoes, so I'm by far not the expert. But what I've learned is you got to make sure that you keep fertilizing them. They're a hungry crop.
That's good to know. I think potatoes is really important on figuring out how to grow it well or making friends with someone locally that can grow them well, as long as you can handle them in your diet. Definitely. Serena says I might be getting a Tempest weather station for Christmas and my birthday. I just need to figure out where to put it and what to set it up on. That is a great gift idea. And Gardner Scott, I'm sure, could help you decide how to mount it where is best because he has Tempest weather station. Do you have a weather station, Robin?
I don't.
I don't either, and I think it would be handy because I don't live there where my garden is, and I think the data would be interesting if I
I'm
can get it somewhere safe.
I'm pretty lucky. There are a few junior colleges
Hmm.
kind of all around where I live, and they all seem to have weather data, local weather data coming out of them. The kids probably do it, the students. So, while it's not right next to me, it's all around me and I get good data.
That's really nice to have, and then knowing it's there so you can access it. There's extra drainage holes now in your grow bags,
There
says
sure
Dusty
are.
Flats.
Hey, Dusty, I waved hi when I passed by on my way up.
Ah, yes, when you were traveling. Let's see. Mike is here. Hey, he says mice did it. Or maybe voles, says Jay.
I'm gonna say probably mice.
Storms Radios is out in the woods and has 0 holes in his grow bags. That's interesting.
Good for you.
Robin lives in the squirrel zone. Oh, here, Mike says my squirrels tore up one in their garden. Mice tore up one in food garden to get the sweet potatoes. Oh, it was a potato. Cliff says on the property, I have to grow in solid bottom containers or the trees will violate the safety of my plants. Even the raised beds are not safe. Seasonal root removal during bed refresh. I've even seen trees in compost piles sometimes be a problem. Let's see. Jay says, I have grown potatoes in ground, in frame beds, in raised beds, in plastic pots. Good to experiment. What is your go-to? What's the best for you, Jay, since you've done all of that? Yes, Dusty is also getting more snow tomorrow, just like we are. 0 for Sunday night. Chop wood, Robin.
There's plenty of it down.
Ah, yeah, that's right. From all the storms, the wind, and
Yeah.
from summer. Yeah. Gardner Scott does do live streams, and there is a recent one talking about that weather station. Newfound Drone Productions, welcome to the show. Good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Jay comes in with innocent look squirrels. That's nuts. Okay, so the good old crops list. And so this is one of those things that it depends on where you live. It depends on what you're allergic to. Are you in a desert? Are you in the tropics? This list might not work for you. Okay. This is my opinion based on my experiences where I know how to grow. I am in Minnesota. So there are links in the description to other articles and videos and books, and maybe one of those works for you, and my answers don't completely match what they are suggesting. This is just for fun. Okay. What I'm trying to get across is these are the plants that will show you what healthy growth looks like, the parts of a plant, what a pest looks like, how easy gardening can become once you've matched yourself with the right crops that you want to eat. Okay. Now, friendly reminder, if you have not subscribed yet, please hit that button. And if you already are, thank you so much. One of the best ways you can support the channel is by sharing with a friend, with a neighbor, with another gardener. Radishes. Okay. Now, some of you, I hear you. I don't like radishes. Have you tried them all? I'm going to talk about all of them right now. Multiple varieties, shapes, and colors. They mature fast. 25 to 35 days, instant success crop. When it goes to flower, the young seed pods are actually edible. Okay, Robin,
Yum
you
yum.
or you let that thing grow and make a seed and then you just replant it. So before I read about the different flavors here, I'm going to talk about mild and sweet and spicy. I have what a radish seed looks like most of the time. This is what they are. So right here is a French breakfast radish. You can see it's a fairly larger seed, easy to handle in your hand. So maybe you guys can say what your favorite radish is, or maybe there's different times of the year where you grow a certain radish, and you in the replay as well. So mild and sweet radishes for the radish haters. These are great for kids or people that don't want the spicy bite, right? Your watermelon radish, French breakfast, minnow ways daikon, alpine radish, and pink beauty.
Have you grown a daikon before?
I have one in the fall garden that stayed there. I didn't pick it to eat it, and it's under all the snow now. If you haven't seen that video, check out under videos, whatever I called that. 7 inches of snow or
One of
something.
those.
Yeah, sorry. You know, I left it in because it's gonna help. as a cover crop. It's going to hold its place in the soil. It's going to break down. It's going to help with any clay compaction. But I didn't pick it and eat it. What
I'm
about
just
you?
curious. I've never done them before.
It's a little bizarre because to me a radish is round and red. So it for it to be really long and straight and white, my brain is like, is it a radish? You know. We have a comment that I want to pull up. Newfound Drone Productions. You know I grew radish in Kratky hydroponics. I was over in a WIG stream, Winter Indoor Gardening, with GT Grows at Alaska and Mike's Cat at Gardening, talking about it's like MUFGA or something is this hydroponic system. It's actually fairly cheap. I did add it to my Amazon wish list. If anyone would like to see it on the channel, send it over to me and we will grow in it and show you it because it's calling my name for some herbs in my kitchen this winter, that's for sure. Foxed Outdoors says grew a nearly 1 pound radish and it wasn't a watermelon, a marglobe, a breakfast radish. Gear says French breakfast radish, garden fresh, roasted, sliced in a salad. I love a radish slaw or salsa. That's how I like it.
See,
Picking how what?
if you really want to mellow out radishes because you don't like the bite, roast them. You will change your opinion of radishes. They're actually very good roasted.
Howie says picking radish, kale, cabbages, cilantro, leeks, and sunchokes tomorrow. Making a video to show what's up for grabs in the wintertime. Perfect.
Mm.
Going through, yeah, parsnip, radish, carrot, horseradish, the daikon that's white. Yes, Mike, it's like $40, $50, the one that I'm looking at, and a lot of people say why they like it over other systems, and I'm very intimidated by hydroponics, and I think that it would teach me the basics, right? Anastasia says, we had a lot of radishes this year in our garden, but I gave them all to my grandparents. That is right up there with the theme that I want to push in 2026, grow to share, which we're going to talk more about on the channel as we get there. And Mike is saying him and GT Jr. are not affiliated. Get the 12 pod? Oh no, I think I put the 18 pod in the thing. I'll have to work on that. Thank you, Mike. Dusty says radishes do get hotter when they're grown on the dry side and it's hot out. That is a really nice little tip for anybody that's curious. Now, I do have a question, even though we're still in basics. Why would a radish not make a radish? Why would it only have the greens? If anyone wants to answer that.
Why would it only? Most of the time, when it doesn't make a head, it's bolting. It's going to flower right away.
Oh, I just saw somebody bolt heat too hot, planted too deep. I hear a lot of people throw out the add bone meal to the table.
For radish, for growing radishes.
Yeah.
When
they don't make a bulb.
Okay, most of the time, I've had problems with radishes when it's too fertile.
Oh.
Being more leafy than bulby. So they kind of like it a little nutrient deficient. Not all the way, but not like don't zhuzh up the soil really good before you put the seeds in other words.
Interesting. I get it. Yeah. Yeah. If you're looking for the spicy strong in a radish, the ones who love the heat, black Spanish, China rose, white icicle, crimson giant. Now, if you beginners, if this is like, say what with all the names of things, here's your list. Okay. Cherry bell, Easter egg mix, French breakfast, white icicle, and a daikon. Pick some of that, plant some of that. I'm going to tell you how to plant things more towards the end.
The cherry bell and the French breakfast are the mildest tasting on that list.
Easter egg is pretty. It's like red and purple,
And
pinks,
white, yeah.
and white. Yep. Okay, that was the first crop. I talked about radish for like 10 minutes. Number 2, lettuce. Okay, I do have some lettuce here. Broadcast the plant. Broadcasting is like just throwing the seed out, or you can put one singularly in with whatever spacing you choose. They are fast, forgiving, grows in spring and fall, cut and come again, or harvest outer leaves, or there's ones that make a head. So before I get into specifics on which ones do best, depending on if it's cold or hot out, this is typically a lettuce seed. So it's a little smaller than the radish. Now, I think everyone has opinions on lettuce, and I have not tried them all. I have a whole list of ones to try that I didn't bring tonight to talk about. J3GS Farm, hey, welcome. Anne's Place, good morning, good to see you. So, if this is correct, maybe this is just a suggestion for spring for me in Minnesota: Butter Crunch, a red sails, oak leaf, little gem, some kind of Lola Rosa I could be planting. Now, do you have any off the top of your head, the variety queen over here, Robin, that you plant for lettuce?
All of these are really, really good.
Okay.
Butter Crunch, Red Sails, Oak Leaf, Little Gem, Lola Rosa, all of those are very tasty. These days, I kind of like all the costs, like good old Paris Island costs,
Okay.
or any of the romaines, like well, Little Gem is a romaine, Little Caesar. They're good, and they all have a good crunch.
A lot of market gardeners grow a Salanova mix, and there was a channel, Epic Gardening, that did a taste test, and they were like, it doesn't even taste good. And again, it comes down to the person eating it.
Yeah,
Now, lettuce can get stressed out and go to flower and make seeds. So when we say what lettuce can we grow in the summer in some shade that's heat resistant, possibly Jericho, Muir, Nevada, Cherokee, New Red Fire. I don't have experience with those. I'm okay with some lettuce going to seed and self-seeding itself, to be honest. I'll just plant more.
the only one I've really had trouble or had success with in the heat of summer is one called Summertime.
Oh, it's well named then.
Well, and Marvel of Four Seasons, if you give it some shade, also will go through the heat of summer.
Yeah, as beginners start to learn, kind of stacking things, growing something up, growing something here, growing something underground in the same square foot. Gonna try and keep it in beginner mind, right?
Great.
Fall, winter density, butter crunch, salad bowl, little gem, they can tolerate you're going into fall temperatures. So with lettuce, again, I'm going to kind of talk about it for a little bit longer, everybody. There's colors, there's shapes, there's textures, okay? Has anyone said to you, I want a crispy lettuce, not a flimsy lettuce? So let's run some more names out there. Color, if you want green, black seeded Simpson. That's one that I can broadcast really well. Butter Crunch, Little Gem. Red is your Red Sails, Cherokee, New Red Fire, Lola Rosa. Escarole, Ezreala. I can't remember the name of that one now. That one's frilly and green. So then, okay, shapes. Frilly. Lola Rosa, Red Sails. The lobed or oak leaf shape, oak leaf lettuce, salad bowl romaine. If you want it to grow up, Jericho, Little Gem, Butter Crunch, Bib, Tom Thumb, Crisp Head, Great Lakes, Crispino. So once you get growing, you'll learn your preferences, or maybe you can say, what do you buy at the store right now? That'll help you make your choice because you know that's what you want to eat. And then again, texture is a thing. So crunchy, romaine, bat, Batvian, however you say that.
Batavian.
Batavian. There we go.
Mhm.
Muir, Nevada, and if you want an iceberg tender, your Butterhead, Butter Crunch, Bib Tom Thumb, which are Tom Thumb is a little one. Soft leaf, so not crunchy. oak leaf, black seeded Simpson, and then if you want the frilly fancy, Lolo Rosa, red sails, and that E one that I can't remember how to say. So before I do crop 3, let's see what everybody says about their lettuce. If we're talking about lettuce in the chat. Um, we said hi to those who came in. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up.
There's one that I've not done for years, but it also has a crunch and does well in the summer, and it was called Prize Head.
Prize head.
Prize Head. Let me just verify that because
Sure.
we're going from my level of memory here.
Jay Dixon, which is Ecology Today, is thrown out a tip that is included in a free printable that I have in the description that I'll talk about at the end. Plant only a small amount of each radish and then resow every 7 to 14 days for an ongoing crop. This is a word that you'll hear thrown about in gardening called succession planting, which I'll give you a schedule on that in the free printable in the description on what that would look like.
Yep. It Prize Head. It's a loose leaf, crinkled leaves, light green, bronze, red. But it did well in the summer, as I recall, which is always a bonus because summer's hard.
It is. Mike says old time farmers with bad land broadcasted radish to condition the soil. Butter Crunch is Mike's favorite. Goodbye, Howie. See you around.
Night.
Storms Radio says, I have only had leaf lettuce grow well for me here in 7A. Head lettuce, not so much. My husband would like me to get better at growing head lettuce. Leaf lettuce is much easier.
There's an iceberg that just, well, in the past anyway, that from M.I. Gardner called Iceberg, and that heads up very easily.
Okay. Now, Anne's Place says, Shawnee, I planted beetroot, oats, and radish. The first 2 came up, but no radish. I wonder why. Good question. When we talk about gardening, which we're trying to stick into beginner land, but when we talk about gardening, there's a lot of yeah, but, and there's a lot of I'm going to ask you 14 questions now to get to the what, when, where, why, how with the radish. I know you've had a lot of weather against you this year, Anne's Place. I've had a lot of people actually tell me that they can't get radish to grow. And I don't have a problem with the soil here that I have to grow radish at all. Dusty says, I so wanted to whip up a cold frame. But the early below 0 stuff might not work. It got cold way sooner, November, December instead of January. Crisp and sweet, says Dusty. I think that's the one, Escarole. Maybe that's a green frilly one, right?
Yes,
All
it is.
methods. Barry says radish grows great for me here. Like it beats all the other plants usually.
I had trouble one year with radish for a fall crop. But my seedlings, I finally figured out, were getting eaten off by roly-poly bugs. I had an overabundance of roly-poly bugs.
Oh.
And so they would shoot up and get eaten. Wham.
I'm going to go to the next one. We are only on number 3. Green beans, and I would say bush beans is what we're going to get the beginners to try. So it's a huge seed, very easy to handle and find and plant. It's not always this color. The one I have in front of me is called Contender Bush Bean. So why am I saying this? They're reliable, high yield, low pest pressure, usually, easy to pick. You get a lot harvested off of planting one seed. You can harvest it often. The more you pick, the more they produce until weather takes them out or you take them out. And it's another one of those things that we can succession planting every 2 to 3 weeks. Now, they say the most productive bush beans are Provider, Contender, Jade, Gold Rush, Blue Lake 274, which are all super familiar in Minnesota.
I've done Provider, Contender, and the Blue Lake 274. They're all good. They're all tasty.
Right.
They're all great producers.
Now, again, we can get into colors with bush beans. Green would be the Blue Lake, the Contender, Provider, Jade, Tender Green. Yellow, gold wax beans. There's one called Gold Rush and Rock Door. And then there is purple. You could grow one of each color. Purple Queen, Royal Burgundy, and there's a striped, which is Dragon Tongue or Borlato, used as both fresh bean and shelling bean.
Dragon Tongue is fun with the kids because of the name, Dragon Tongue. They're kind of a mottled color bean, and when you cook them, it still keeps some of that color. So that's kind of nice. Where most of that, like Purple Queen and Royal Burgundy, when you cook them, they turn green.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I was going to try and say that next, unless I
Okay.
forget. I think that's what made me not buy them at the farmer's market. When she said they turn green when you cook them, I was like, I don't want it then. I wanted it to stay purple, you know?
Of course, that could be like a little magic thing with the kids.
Definitely.
Oh, look at.
And if you don't like them and you don't eat them, then do not plant it. Okay. Golden rule, I don't know what number. Only plant what you eat. There's so many varieties, there's probably a few you'll like. Don't forget about black turtle, small bean but high yield. I don't know black turtle.
I have seeds for black turtle. I am going to try them this year, come heck or high water.
Oh, really?
I am. It's a drying bean.
Okay. Um, I am suggesting fresh eating beans for beginner growers, but if you want to level up, grow another bean that's for drying. So it's sort of a set it and forget it. You don't pick it. You let the pods fully mature, and it forms the dried bean inside. You pick it. You can store it. Anastasia says green beans and corn were a disappointment this year for her husband and her and
Oh,
her garden.
bummer.
I know they had pest pressure. You know, if something ate, like I planted green beans in spring, summer, and fall, and almost all of the fall green beans, either I planted bad seed or it got eaten when it was about this tall. Because there was barely anything in the section that I took time to plant a lot, you know. Um, there is a schedule posted for the Urban Gardener for those of you that are familiar with that show, Saturdays and Sundays. There it is on the screen. There's a lot coming up. It's the end of the year, you know. We got to get it all in. And then there's even more content. You should be able to go to the Urban Gardener and hit notify me. Their pre-scheduled live streams up already. Oh, and there is 3 weeks off for a holiday. Okay. Mike says, I'm not a green bean guy. I prefer snow peas. And you're going to find something shocking. I don't have peas on the beginner list, even though they're one of my favorite things, because there's so many. Do you want snap, snow, or shelling? Do you want dwarf or do you want to trellis it? Like, I think it's not on my list, but you can, sure, of course you can grow it, you know?
You know, if I was going to have a suggestion for a beginner, I would go Tom Thumb.
Mm.
Tom Thumb gets about 12, maybe 15 inches tall. They don't have to be trellised, and you have peas, and they come off quick.
That's what I grew for my fall peas, and we harvested peas before the cold came and took them all out, the real cold, because they can
Cool.
handle a little bit of cold. Ann's place says, I will grow it for the cook in my house because he loves any kind of bean. Barry says, good old-fashioned pinto beans are great for new gardeners. Pick them and let them dry out. Sometimes beginner gardeners don't have the space um, if it's a pole bean. Now, if it's a bush bean, to have it sit there the whole season to make a dried bean, also, again, for a beginner gardener, it's like, well, usually with beginners, we want to get a harvest quick as possible, right? Mike says, I do like beans like kidney beans. Radio Jonesies sneaking in. Is that your first comment here? Hey, back to basics, beginner gardening here. Okay, so the next parts of the list are going to go faster. This one's all together. Number 4, arugula, which I can't handle too much of. I would say it's too spicy. Mustard greens, and kale and Swiss chard. You know, I hear you. I hate kale. I hear you. That's why it's with other stuff. Try another one, okay? Number 5 is something with the herb category. So, you know, for me, it's parsley and chives. I know how to use them. They grow fairly quickly. Robin, to put you on the spot, beginner herb. What do you think?
Beginner herb. Yep, I go parsley, chives, and I would add basil because it's pretty easy once summer hits.
Oh, I did miss a couple. Jonesy's lurking. Good to see you. Jay says chives as well.
And that gets you on the perennial train too.
It does. Mike says so many kales, frilly, great in salads. There's a lot of types of kale. Yes. I figured I can't pull apart and dissect every single crop on the 10 list. So these ones are going to go faster. Now, small space winter squash is important to me. Ones that don't vine out, 6 feet plus. So if you've never seen a squash seed, they are also on the bigger side. This one is a delicata squash. I just don't remember if it's a bush variety, to be honest with you. But they are like a pumpkin seed. So, supposedly small space winter squash varieties: bush delicata, butterbush for a butternut, which I've done, honey nut, which I've done, table king acorn, small wonder spaghetti, Burgess bush buttercup. Now, the reason for beginners, I'm saying to use small space ones that don't go all over crazy, is it's either easier to control, to monitor, to water, container friendly.
I think that is great suggestions because, well, the butternuts for sure because they are more resistant to the squash vine borer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure about the Burgess buttercup. The delicata is definitely not an acorn. The squash vine borers get those.
I also like having a beginner get into winter squash of some sort because it's the picket, it can get cured, which is just sitting out in the sun or not, drying, hardening, and then it goes on a shelf. There's not a lot of hubbub with it. It can sit there for a couple months, depending on if it's a cool, dry place. So pick one and try it. Get some flowers in. Okay, so I have a suggestion, sunflower, marigold, zinnia, calendula. In the free printable, it says some other types in there as well. Pick your poison, do something, get some flowers in there. They're great for bringing in pollinators and beneficials. I was supposed to have linked a live stream in the chat. Now I'm questioning if I did that, about why we want those kinds of things in our garden. Sunflowers do give us a food. Marigolds. Did somebody say they eat them? I don't remember.
It's petals, you absolutely.
Okay. Put them in a salad. Zinnias are really good. Cut and come again. Flower to make some bouquets. Calendula you can use for tea. Nasturtiums are the top listed edible flower that we hear about. We did have a whole edible flower show. If that's like, I want to know more about that for you. I will go back to the chat before I do number 8.
The gem kind of marigolds, they're really tiny ones. Those are very tasty in a salad. There's one called tangerine. Really tasty. The petals.
That's good to know because I feel like not all marigolds taste good. Fox at Outdoor says bunching onions is a great starter herb. Thank you for your input.
Oh,
Barry says basil pretty much grows itself, doesn't it, Robin? I just can't stand the smell of basic basil.
oh, I'm just the opposite, but my favorite is lemon drop basil.
I was gonna say go for the lemon because then we can make tea.
Oh yeah.
Dusty Flat says, we grew a butternut one year and wondered why they were so small. While eating, I then noticed they were supposed to be tiny.
So I have a new video coming out that I just filmed with really tiny butternuts in it.
Oh, Jay, beginner gardeners shouting, what do we want? Easy crops. When do we want them? Now. Basil is a good beginner herb, says Mike. Crazy Life Homestead, welcome to a beginner gardener conversation. Trying to keep it in the basics. Mike says marigolds are anti-parasitic, great for animals. Calendula, you can feed your chickens and you'll get like a darker yolk color usually. Radio Jonesy says, I like butternut pumpkins. I'm running out of water. Number 8 says summer squash. So it's on my list. But for those of you that have been here, how do I feel about the summer squash? Okay. How do I feel? So it's a bush variety situation and it has many uses in the kitchen. It's talked about worldwide. You got to pick it daily once they start producing to keep it under control and tasty and delicious. Okay. So here's some best flavor varieties for summer squash. Magda, Kusa, 8-ball, Costata, Romanesca in the bush. Sometimes you have to have that specifically on the title to get that variety, the bush type. Sunburst patty pan, Gold Rush yellow zucchini. Those are all summer squash. Anybody want to talk about summer squash?
I've never grown the Magda on that list, but the 8-ball is fabulous, and it's good for two people because one of them is a nice meal side. Sunburst patty pan is good. The Romanesca is good. I've grown yellow zucchini. I don't know what variety, if it was Gold Rush or not.
Mm-hmm. I'll see it, Anne. So Magda is the one that I grew. It's that light green custardy squash, and the only way I eat it is sliced thin, pan fried, and then put in soup, which I feel like you can put anything in soup. But the reason I'm saying these bush varieties, again, besides it's controllable, we can keep track of it in a container, is we're harvesting them at a manageable size. Like Robin mentioned, it feeds 2 people. Now, if you look at some gardeners, they're growing candy roasters, Kusha, Tromboncino, and it's like for a beginner gardener to manage that much in the kitchen, I don't want to put that on people unless they do have a large family and they're ready to go. So that's why this list is tuned into what I have on the screen.
That's a really, really good point because I love that Kusha squash, but when I cut into one, it is 10 pounds of squash to
Wow.
process.
Crookneck. Is that a yellow?
Crookneck is yeah,
Okay.
yellow. Isn't it yellow and a little warty?
Oh, I don't know.
I gotta remember.
I know that I think it was that Romanesco one that's got to be the one that Hugh talks about. Now, I do have this book
Yep.
Uh,
It's yellow and it's,
okay,
this it's a little bit warty. Subtle.
right, nice. I love when we share our favorites of things. It really helps people like, oh, I'm gonna try that, you know? So Hugh Richards did write a lot of books actually. There's another one coming out. The Self-Sufficiency Garden. Uh, is this a beginner book? I just I mean, it has layouts of how gardens can look for you, and he goes through like compost steps, building steps. He goes through each month what you could be planting. It's very technical though, and it might scare a beginner. It just depends on what kind of learner you are. Don't buy books if you can't learn in this format. If you're like a video person, don't even try this. But there is a review coming out about how I feel about that book on a future video, so make sure you are subscribed to check that out. And there's a link in the description to get one for yourself. And I might buy his next book. We'll see. Cliff says, I've only grown acorn squash and zucchini squash. Not really a fan of the taste, honestly. Grow for family and friends mainly. That falls into the grow to share, and so that is allowed. Mike says the benefit of the roaster is it stores for a year. If Howie was here, he would tell me the name of that green melony squash that stores for 7 years because I
Wow.
can't remember. Yeah, it's
7 years?
yeah.
Whoa.
He shows it on his channel and talks about it. There's a lot of ways to do up the summer squash. Uh, Grilling it is super great. Jay says kusha equals squash for every meal for days.
Days.
Yes. Now, we did touch on potatoes earlier. If you have some potatoes that have sprouted, you should plant them. So just, red Norland, Yukon Gold, fingerlings. I believe I suggested those because they're quicker than a russet, but I don't honestly remember. So plant whatever potato is near you, okay? You don't need to get fancy with the names.
I really, really, really love the flavor of the Kennebec.
Hmm.
I think as long as I can get a hold of it every year, it'll be the one I grow. It's buttery. It tastes so good. Ah.
Now we're thinking about potatoes. I know I'm gonna make wedges tomorrow for sure. Battered wedges, fried with fried chicken. So
Yeah.
the one of the reasons I have potatoes on here is its versatility, and it's actually kept people alive in history, and you can save some and replant them and keep yourself going and not have to spend a bunch of money. And I think that's something to get into people in the beginner gardeners because I don't have one here, but there's seed catalogs out there that get us in this, it's beautiful, but will it really grow here? Money wasted thing.
It's pretty friendly too. You get your potatoes, you put them on an egg cart, you set them in a sunny location. They chit and you throw them in the ground. It's a pretty easy process for a beginner.
What is this?
Grandpa,
Oh, are you looking for the one I was talking about? Let's see. Let's see if I can figure it out quickly without going into because he says the name, and I just can't remember it.
Cucurbita ficolia, commonly referred to as the 7-year melon, Jay writes.
Oh, yeah, okay, that Ficofolia, yes, that's it. It has a bunch of names. Yeah, the Chile Coyote is the Mexico Spanish. Yes, that's the one. That's the one he grew and talks about how it can stay on the shelf for 7 years. But the rind, do not eat. Bad things happen.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And you can eat it young, I believe. and I don't remember how to use it, but let's practice that. Have that in the little food forest repertoire, right? Cliff says fastest way I've seen a potato sprout or chit and grow eyes is to place it next to an onion or two, and it will sprout a bag in a few days. Ta-da! Says Jane.
I know that you're not supposed to put your onions and your potatoes next to each other in the
And your
cupboard.
apples and all of that.
Yeah.
Yikes, says Mike. Okay, we're almost down the list. This is the last, number 10, the perennial. I'm on it again. If it's a strawberry, a raspberry, a fruit tree, if you dare, just, find something and plant it. You beginner gardener, you do it. Now I want to hear from you. What's the part you struggle with most? Timing, watering, soil? Let me know. Let's look at what we could plant first, the timing and successions in the printable, which I'm not going to read to you. It's in the description, but it goes over what to plant first. So like, let's say we're going into spring. We've picked how we're going to grow things, and we're like, okay, what seed am I planting? We're talking about the soil temp you need, the name, so like radish, and then you're going to plant them again every 1 to 2 weeks. I usually say 2 weeks because then I can remember for mostly anything. Then the second thing that goes in would be your lettuce, your greens, your herbs, depending on the herb, not the basil. The basil's warm, which isn't in my list. But I go over like soil temperatures and stuff in the printable, and then mid-spring, and then late spring, early summer, which early summer is like 2 weeks after your last frost. And again, links are in the description, and we'll have more talks about what that means. Some of you don't have frost. And then there's more succession planting timelines. You can throw a couple more things here and there in. And I do touch on planting some of these in the mid to late summer for a fall harvest, which with beginners, it's like one season at a time, please. What am I supposed to do today? There's a printable for you. Hopefully that helps in the description. So for the poll, are you a beginner gardener? Yes, 27%. There's 22 votes. No, 55%. I want to teach a new gardener, 9%. Fantastic. Growing to share. That qualifies as that. How do I know? 9%. I am going to end the poll. I haven't done a poll in a long time. Here's the results. I like them. Copy. I could do more than one in a show, but I just never remembered to do it. So for the replay, if the live chat hasn't loaded yet, because it's on for you to see it, this is what we were just reading and what I asked everybody as they came in. And you can answer too in the replay. So Anastasia says, definitely timing. Yeah, I'm a big take the soil temp, which there's a temperature tool in the description, the one that I use. It's not complicated. It's basic. But when people are like, well, my last frost date is X day, May 18th, you still need to watch the weather forecast because the weather doesn't care what day it is, right? It's all about cycles and timing and changing. And now things that we're going to go over in January, there's a series coming out where we go, okay, where does it get warm first? So for us that get snow, where does the snow melt first? Near your house, your garden, because that is going to hit these temps we need before where the snow melted last. This is helping us map sunspots, shade spots, warm spots. Is it a place where there's a bunch of rocks or it's up against a foundation? We're going to go over all of that starting in January. So if you want to hear that series, make sure you are subscribed. Katie's Kitchen. Good to see you. Cliff says, I voted myself as a beginner gardener even after 5 years. I've only been gardening independently for 7 years. Before that, I was a child gardening, right? Like I don't count that. And yeah, it's how do I know when I've graduated beginner? I I don't know. I thought it'd be a fun question. Yeah, go check out Katie's Kitchen. She has super fun, I don't know if she's gonna do it all the time, but it was like bad cooking advice, bad kitchen advice. She's really good at it. Just like straight-faced, quick answer. I'm not good at quick answer stuff. So the rest of the things next to me, I'll go through that because we have been here for an hour. This is just fun. Oh, here, I forgot I'm not big. The Backyard Homestead. So this came up in a conversation from the last live stream I did. If you haven't seen that show, Gardening Won't Save You, check it out because I preach gardening, so it's not what you think. But I had to dig this out because let me take my bookmark out. It goes over how to plant a quarter of an acre, how to plant a half an acre. And so in the quarter acre for vegetables, 12 beds, each of them are 4 by 8 feet. Your fruit and nuts, you have various trees, grapevines, berry cane, strawberry beds, winter hardy, kiwi, arbor, whatever. Herbs, you're going to have your thyme, your tarragon, your chives, your sage, whatever. You can load it up over by the kitchen, right? You always keep it close to the house. Grains, you could designate a 25 by 50 foot patch. Your dealer's choice. Wheats, oats, maybe you want to get into sorghum, millet, whatever. Rice, I don't know. Is rice a grain? That's a grain, right? Poultry, you can have 12 chickens for eggs. Maybe you want to have 2 pigs or some rabbits, but on a quarter acre, it's really limited for meat animals. And then get yourself 2 beehives, This was a book that lays out what would it look like, and then it goes into maybe how to set up a small space, like how to plant it out. And it talks about a planning chart, which charts are okay. It's just I've gotten away from them for a lot of reasons. But it talks about your vegetable groups. What's a brassica? What's a leafy green? What's a legume? These are all, it's vocabulary that you pick up as you learn about gardening. And then it actually gets out of that and it goes into all kinds of other stuff like preserving and what is this? Building a chicken coop. It's like, it's not just gardening specifically, like it's a homesteading basics. Next is a book about soil. So if you want to get nerdy on soil, this is a must-have for your gardening library. Compost, mulch, biology, how to flip a bed, path management, cover cropping. He's a market gardener, so it's a lot of that kind of stuff. But it's good info, good pictures, like good, strong, colored pictures, which I'm a fan of in a book. And then Homegrown Hand Gathered. They also have a YouTube channel. This is more into the self-sufficiency, I feel like. They talk about gardening for sustenance and then big old crops list. I've showed these before. These are cards that are to get the kids to tell me a story because I homeschool. So it's, okay, look at the card and then once upon a time there was a mushroom, that kind of thing. And it was his birthday. What else do I have bookmarked in this book? I can't get to it. There's recipes in here on how they actually use the crops that they grow. And it does have pictures in it, if that's the thing you're looking for. And Nikki Silver Stacker, hey, thanks for supporting the channel and hitting the thumbs up. Oh, look at that, I love carrots. And you've noticed carrots were not on the beginners list because I feel like it's stressful and complicated, even though it's on a lot of people's beginners list. And it's like, no, I wouldn't do that to somebody.
I wouldn't do it to a beginner either.
No, I mean, they're my favorite, and I still can't get it right every time the whole time. Well, I don't know what book.
A good beginner book is?
Oh, what?
Just the plain old square foot gardening.
Oh, yeah, I don't have one of those.
Yeah, it's really, really good because it's, it's very regimented, in 12 inches square. This is how many whatever you can plant. And
it's mathematical. Yep.
It's a very good step-by-stepper for a beginner.
Katie's Kitchen says, I still consider myself a beginner gardener because I have not had too many opportunities to do it. Here's another situation where I would go, I'm a beginner gardener. I moved to a different zone, climate completely. I would go, I'm a beginner all over again because I have to relearn timing
Yeah.
and what variety well here and restart my seed saving all over again. Robin and I did a seed saving basics live stream. Beautiful show. You have to check that out if you haven't seen it.
Even if you move across town, your new place has got new microclimates, and
Yes,
you got to learn them all.
growing here at the rental house where I live is completely different timing than growing 15 minutes at the garden that you see on the show on the channel.
Hmm.
Completely different. TN Bushcrafter. Hey, I am a mushroom. And I did not put mushrooms on the beginner gardener list, but it is in our growing to survive conversations, right? Carrots are so particular. I'm almost tempted to do carrot experiment in a container next year for this channel because I grow them in the ground and I have to choose short varieties and plant a lot and hope that, I'm going to get a broad fork. That's what I want to do. I want to get the broad fork, and I think that would change my carrot game.
Oh, Jay's talking about the Mel's mix, the combination of the vermiculite, the peat moss, and the compost. You're right. A startup, if you use the Mel's mix, would be incredibly expensive.
I don't know where that there's a place in this book, the Guide to Raised Bed Gardening. He goes over all the mixes. Like he has a mix, and then Bartholomew's mix and
Hmm.
Mel's mix, if that's the same person, Mel, right?
Yep, Mel
And then
Bartholomew,
yeah, there's another person I think, and he goes over
the mixes.
what they are, what the recipe is, why or why not, that kind of thing. I got that book just to talk about soil because I don't have any raised beds anymore, but I'm sure I will someday. Dusty says I moved 2 miles away and peach trees I haven't had luck with. Lower elevation.
Ah, like my front yard is south facing, so it is hotter than Hades. And I've got stone beds, stone walkway, stone driveway. And so it holds all of the heat. So much different than the backyard.
I see you, TN Bushcrafter, saying a single tool isn't going to change things. Have you seen my carrot harvests? They are great. They are nothing to complain about. I just want to A, work out more in the garden, and definitely that would help me. B, it measures the row for me because then I'm planting the width of it. And then I see, Cliff over here with, adding potting mix, straw. I'm planting 30-foot rows, I believe. Like, I want to grow 50 pounds of carrots. I can grow carrots to have carrots, but I want to get some carrots, without planting thousands of seeds and thinning. Like, I just want to get it mastered, dare I say. I usually use a potato fork to loosen the spot, and then I add sand and then compost and then plant, and then I cover it with a board for germination. And I can get carrots, but I want to be better at it. And I know the broad fork would be useful in so many places on the property. And we do have a tractor, and we do till in places. I have places that have been tilled once. I've had places that have been never tilled, and I've had places that have been tilled for 30 years. Like, I have the whole of growing food in those places. Dusty says, I hear you, Robin. It's a desert here, cold at night, hotter than Hades in day. Katie says, my apartment porch faces west and gets hot. It would. Yeah, the afternoon sun is a beast. It kills everything. that she's tried to grow, regardless of how much she waters, and she's not allowed to put up shade. Wendy, what is Wendy's channel's name? In California? She's done balcony and rooftop gardens that get like 120 plus degrees. So she might have some tips uh, to maybe get you thinking in ways that it would work for you, Katie's Kitchen. Yeah, members, throw out the emojis if you'd like. That's what they're called, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Jay says for Game Changer and carrots in her life, she made a special bed area, put an absolute pile of light friable organic material so carrots have an easy life. Well, and I'm not going for foot-long carrots, Cliff. I do Scarlet Nantes, Danvers, Bolero. What is the
Bolero.
Bolero? I feel like there was
Bolero's a
another one
good
that I get.
tasting carrot too.
Yeah. And I like to juice in the summer, and I like things to be storable. So Barry says, you don't have to prove a thing, Shawnee. Your gardens tell all we need to know about your skills. I share what I can. Yeah, that's Wendy. That's her channel name, Wendy Fan. She would have tips on growing in a small space in the heat. For sure. Yes, I believe you, Dusty. Oh, Robin put up a bunch of emojis. I can't, when I go like this, it doesn't make it pretty. You gotta be in the YouTube to see it. The hard work. So I hope for all of the beginners, or to just get you back to thinking of what was it like to be a beginner, some of this helped you, I hope. Dusty says I have to grow carrots like Tony in PVC tubes. I've seen all the great veg, what is it called? Giant veg
Yeah.
people. They do some crazy things with carrots.
Oh yeah, with the those PVC tubes that Tony puts in and fills it with almost pure sand. I don't even know how they grow. So, there's a point for low nutrient.
Mm-hmm. Anastasia says we had big carrots this year. Carrots are life over here.
I
So,
really liked those sugar snacks. They're about the same size as Ananta's.
oh, Littlefinger is another one.
Little
Sugar
fingers,
snack?
good,
Okay.
sugar snacks. And then a Karuta Shin, and I've also seen it as a Shin Karuta. That's also a shorter one with a good flavor.
I think it was Karuta and then red Chantenay that were grown to make kimchi or to go with your cabbage for krauts in the fall. I've seen those recommended. I don't remember what the juicing one was, though. I'll have to look one up because I like to juice.
There's a good one. It's a lot like the Bolero called Envy.
Okay.
It's also an F1, I believe.
I'm okay with F1s, yeah. Have you had a carrot on its second year survive your garden and go to seed?
No, I never have.
I want to try it next year, but I don't know how that would work with the cold and snow here. I mean, I know that if we get a warm day in January, February, I can show you guys, because I left carrots in the fall garden, that I'll be able to pick them and they'll be fine. I'll be able to eat them just like a regular carrot because they're in nature's refrigerator. So hopefully I can leave some all the way, and then in the summer it'll shoot up a flower and I'll have some seeds. Because I want to get good at seed saving.
It's fickle. Like I was able to have the celery come back. I just piled the earth up on the cut off stalk. So the root system basically came back and then flowered for me. It was awesome. And then I tried to do it again and same thing and didn't work.
Every year
So
is so different with gardening.
yeah.
Serena says, anyone here grow Kurosawa carrots? Never heard of it.
I've not heard of that one either.
Cliff has a story about even if it's a Nantes, like a small carrot, if it's given the right environment, it will get bigger than it says on the package. Oh, Jay harvested carrots under the snow. I can't get to it's under such a big drift. Kale, Swiss chard, cabbage, all mine is under huge drifts. Barry says, for my own preferences, I like normal sized carrots, even those baby carrots for the tenderness and so much less work for cooking. Katie says, I don't know what kind of carrots the food pantry gets, but I have found some the size of my forearm. I don't
Well,
want a woody carrot, you know.
there's another good veg for beginners, and that's beets. They're pretty reliable.
That was really recommended on all the lists, and here's why I didn't say it. 1, because everything wants to eat it. 2, because some people are like, ew, beets, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
But
true.
yeah, because you can eat the greens and the root
Right?
is why I think it would be good for beginners, but, I already made a kind of a big list in the first place, and the thing we tell beginners is pick, like, 5 or less, you know? Maybe 8, like, I don't know how much you wanna commit for your time and your space, but you're supposed to just get to know a couple plants from beginning to end before you go crazy with the seed catalog.
The thing, the thing though, having worked in a garden center, everybody wants to grow tomatoes and peppers.
Yes, I
That's what they want to
know.
grow.
I did not have that on my list for beginners because it's a whole thing. They're
It's
tasty, they're delicious, they're worth it, but do I want to stress somebody out with it their first year?
definitely, they would need to buy a starter plants.
Yes, and a lot of
Um,
people say go for cherry tomatoes your first
oh,
year.
yeah, I would agree.
Oh, thanks for supporting the channel. That is one of the ways by watching those ads. I couldn't see going to that much trouble for carrots, but I suppose if they were large, you wouldn't need so many, says Dusty Flats. The carrot that Serena was talking about, she has a quarter pound of them. Dusty says, I like growing a 10-pound squash. Wouldn't need too many. Carota, carrot seed. It was an Opus ad and a Granger ad. Those are good ads. Okay, so as we say, if you've learned something new, share it, talk about it, be proud. The more of us restoring the ground beneath our feet, the cleaner our food and water become for everyone. I do appreciate all of the members. Thank you. You help us get things done over here. Books and seeds and inspiration. If you'd like to become a member too, it does start at 99 cents a month. There are links all over the place. There's a join button. Sometimes it says subscribe plus. In the description, there's a button. We also have our merch store, which helps support the channel as well in a way. Get some winter gear. I don't have any tank tops on there. I would add that. There's what else is on there? Hats. I have a hat. It's over there though. How do I get my there we go. There's a link for that in the description. So I see there's 6 comments. I'm coming back over here to see what happened. Katie's Kitchen says, I think my most prolific veggie was Cascadia peas. You can eat the shoots and the pods. My son snacked on them while he was playing in the backyard. I am totally team peas. I like shelling peas. I can't grow enough of them. I can't. Totally garden treat. They don't make it in the house.
I
Mike
like
says,
peas. I like shelling peas. I like peas.
you just like peas. Well, you talk about eating the shoots a lot too.
The shoots.
So Mike says, okay, what people Donge? About Minnesota. Our soil's frozen solid 6 months. Yes, you might dip below 0 a week, but your soil's still 50 degrees. Yeah, under the blanket. Mike says that my southern friend was like, I get snow. Mike goes, I'm like, it's not the same as snow on ground for 6 months, when it piles up. Then there's different types of snow, right? When we're talking about all these different colors and textures and stuff with crops, snow is the same thing. There's fluffy and light and heavy and thick and wet and yeah, I have a flag and the puzzles. That's maybe what yes, we have puzzles for Christmas gifts for kids and adults. Pictures of my garden, which I should buy some for a gift.
And you've got hats and you've got stickers, all kinds of things.
Yeah, I hope there's something for everybody, and we can always add things. I'm trying to load a video tab over here, so if I look like I'm distracted, I apologize. It's for our outro. Okay, so Barry says, don't forget the conspiracy kind of snow too. All the types of snow. So thanks for gathering around. Keep creating, keep experimenting, and keep growing every day in every way. We are saying goodbye.
Bye.
Grow your own food, yeah, start it today. Little tips for beginners go a long, long way. Survival gardens, rise a companion, roots tight. Regenerative soil, keep the future in sight. Build soil in layers, let the microbes feed. Save seed for the kids, that's the garden's creed. Food webs dancing in the dark below. Eat from the land, let the good life grow. Eat what you eat what you grow. Learn as you grow, let the rhythm flow. Grow every day, eat what you grow. This is how we garden for a brighter day. What you eat what you grow. Learn as you grow, let the rhythm flow. Grow every day, eat what you grow. This is how we garden for a brighter day. This is how we garden for a brighter day. Food forests rise and grocery rows too. Rain gardens soaking up that sky blue. Pollinator patches keep the heartbeat strong. Edible landscapes singing all season long. Plant what you eat what you grow. Let's learn as you grow, let the rhythm flow. Grow every day, eat what you grow. This is how we garden for a brighter day. Plant what you eat what